And I have to talk about his medical history very shortly because I think Jerry Water had something to do with his past. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, let's talk about Big Tom. Big Tom, 30 years on the go, from Castleblaney to the UK, back to Ireland, all over the places we know. Still out there, still doing it. Can't really be about money anymore. It's got to be about the fact that he loves what he does. First thing we want to do is show a piece of film. This is a beautiful piece of footage from a program called Last House. Tom McGurk did, and Donia O'Connor, remember Big Annie, from 1976. It was a special on Big Tom, and you'll see the house and the local people and the area of Castleblaney. This is very interesting. 1976. Have a look at this.
Come from Cork and everywhere to touch his coat. You think he was God Almighty?
Oh, they're very fond of him. So they're all clamour to whatever house he's in.
He's a native of the town, I suppose, and they all know him and proud of the name he has made over the country, I suppose.
But I thought it was fantastic from the word go. I really did. Didn't I often say that to you?
This is Borderland, Monaghan, Ulster, oh stony grey soil terrain of Patrick Kavanagh. Legendary land of smugglers, of poteen makers, of cockfighters, of border incidents, and more recently, the kingdom of Irish country and western music. A kingdom ruled over by Castleblaney's very own Big Tom McBride.
I remember those shirts. Tom, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here. Pleasure to have you here. Do you remember the making of that?
I remember, I vaguely remember it now, all right, yeah. But when you asked me about it earlier, I couldn't...
you couldn't recall it?
No.
You couldn't recall it. And that was your mum?
That is my
who's
mother,
since
yeah,
passed on.
Yeah.
That's right. She was very special in your life, wasn't she? I mean, mummies are always special, but she was very special in your life.
Well, I suppose we all have mothers, and she was a good mother to us on that, you know.
Yeah. And what did she think about you doing this? Because in the early stages you went off, you left home. I suppose finding work was probably fairly difficult, was it, at that time? You went off to England. Yeah,
well, I think this was the late 50s and that, you know. A lot of people emigrated at that time because work was very scarce here at home, and I, like an awful lot of other people, I went to London.
And were you singing, not professionally, but were you singing anyway? Because someone told me your first guitar wasn't here, you bought it in London.
That's true, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. I was staying in a flat with a neighbour lad, you know. We both pitched in and we bought a guitar for, I think it was £12 it was.
Very expensive, was a good one.
But it wasn't, I suppose it was expensive enough at the time.
But it's 30 years back.
We learned a few chords here and there, and met different people that had been playing guitars, and we learned a bit, and we got to know a few songs. But the first song I ever learned was a song called Gentle Mother, and that's where I heard it in London.
Which is one of your two anthems. It really hasn't. It's become one of your two anthems.
Yeah,
Whose song was it? Was it somebody else's song?
No. I had never heard it before, and I heard a couple of lads singing it in a flat, and they sang a verse and a chorus with it, and I asked them to get me the rest of the song, you know, so that a sister back home in Ireland knew the rest of the song. That's where I got it.
When did you stop being just ordinary Tom or Thomas and become Big Tom?
I didn't think I stopped yet. I don't think that. No, I don't think it ever changed me.
No, but how?
You mean later life will you become Bigger Tom?
How old were you when they decided now you're Big Tom as opposed to you're wee Tom or a little lad? Were you kind of Big Tom when you were 16 or?
No. I'd say I was. How I got the name Big Tom was playing football. I played football for the local club and a small bit for the county, and that's where I got the name Big Tom. And a manager that took us over then, he decided that he'd leave the name, you know, that it was an easy name to remember.
Was this because people were terrified to see you come and running at them on the pitch?
Must have been something like that.
As good as 3 men, I suspect, at times. You came back here, your brother died, isn't that right?
That's right,
And you came back to the farm at Castleblaney. And then going off and being with the band, and there you were in the 60s, and that was a time, of course, when business was brisk, to say the least, wasn't it? You were up to your eyes in work.
Oh, yeah.
That must have been quite a change for you, a very pleasant change too. But it must have been brilliant. Because Gentle Mother's the one that launched you, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true, yeah. That was 1966.
Right.
And we did it on a showband show here in RTE.
That's right.
And people seen the programme, and they kept asking us to to record it, you know, or were we going to record it, but that was way at the beginning of any recording.
It must have been amazing, though, to look back on those times when you could be, like in the ballrooms in Dublin, like you could be in one ballroom, like the Iron or something, and Joe Dolan could be down across town in another ballroom, and someone else down, and all packed.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, that's the difference in them times and now. Like, everybody went to the ballrooms. That's where the boy met the girl and the girl met the fella.
You must have seen some queer sights from standing on the stage looking down, did you?
Oh, yeah, you heard some funny noises and seen some funny sights, right enough. Like,
that's right.
You'd get the men on one side and the girls on the other side.
Yes, sir.
Then the rush across and the squeals and the
squeals?
Oh, there'd be all sorts of noises.
What were they doing, Tom? You can tell us. We won't tell anyone. What were they doing on the floor, Tom?
I know, you see, every fellow would... he'd be eyeing up the situation, you know, while the band was stopped playing, and well, he'd have his girl spotted, you know, and he'd have to be quick to be there first, you know.
That's right. If she was nice, there'd be a queue.
Oh yeah, oh this is it, and be maybe a few girls getting squeezed, maybe trying to get the one that you wanted.
Right. Kind of a test drive.
Ah yeah,
like,
it was an error in its own. That
certainly was. So we want to show another piece of footage here. This one comes. This was when because the mainliners were there, became Big Tom and the Travellers. Which was a change. Right, yeah. And this is from January 1981, and it was a program called Country Star Time, which is very popular here on the TV, which I'm sure you remember. And an excellent choice of suit. Can I just remind you, a great suit. You're going to love this one. 1981. Have a look at this.
Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the misery I go through. Never knowing what to do. Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the misery I go through. Never knowing what to do. Oh, the pain of loving you.
Not great.
Love the shirt.
Time changes everything.
Absolutely.
Do you remember when your voice broke up when you got that? There's a lovely gravelly quality to your voice. Do you remember when that happened?
I don't really know.
And do you remember, well, do you know, like when you were there in London and realising that you had a singing voice? I mean, did you cop onto that? Did other people tell you that you had, or what?
I'd say other people would ask me to sing a song, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd say that my first fan was my present manager's mother. I always said that, you know.
Really?
I learned the song. I came back home and there was a concert in a local hall, and I was asked to sing a song on it, and I sang Gentle Mother on it.
And she?
From that on, like, people wanted to hear this song.
Yeah. Kevin McCooey, by the way, is your manager, and beautifully turned out, has to be said, because he's around us here today. Bosscar Willie, by the way, was on that show with you. Someone reminded me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Willie, yeah. Sandy from County Loud, this is a deadly serious phone call, says, please ask Tom, is it true that you're a brother of Derek Davis? That would be mean, Tom, wouldn't it? He did some terrible slagging at one time, didn't he? He really did. He's an awful man. When you look back over the years, and I said it in the introduction, and I presume it has to be true, it's not about money now. You're out there and you're still doing the gigs and you're still making the few bob, yes, but you're out there now because you presumably still love it. Is that fair to say?
Well, I suppose I've been out of every other game that I've done before this so long now that I suppose singing and being in the band is the thing I know probably most about now, and a bit of fishing.
Right, fishing's your passion, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
But outside of the business, talk about your family. Have any of your children gone into the business at all? Have they?
Well,
steered clear of it.
There's one of the lads playing bass in the band at the moment, and we didn't get him to sing yet, but we're working on it.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Big Tom Jr., small Tom, is he? Or what's his name, by the way?
Dermot.
Dermot. Well, he'd be middling Dermot. One of the things I find intriguing as well is the fact that, you know, the way the business has changed so much. Look at this. Big Tom and the Mainland is at the Glencairn Hotel in Castleblaney. Look at that. Just an example of how the whole business has changed. There's one of them there. Here's the main lines again at the Galtymore in London Town. And this one, which is the current one, isn't it? Which
That's
is
right.
the sweetest gift Big Tom and the main lines. Now, when you look at things like that, this is the way the business has become now. This is part of it. Selling records is one thing, but it's CDs, of course, and videos as well.
That's true. The videos, I suppose, it's taken over from probably the LPs and that. You know, you would sell more videos now than you would probably CDs or.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're, as the fellow said, you're in dining rooms all over the land now.
Well,
Thanks
hopefully
to
a
the
good few
video.
of them anyway.
We want to show one song we can't go without. We're not showing Gentle Mother. We've chatted enough about that. But 4 Country Roads, which is the other classic.
That's true, yeah.
And if you didn't sing that, people would go home in a huff, wouldn't they?
Well, it's a song that you always get requests for, no matter where we're doing the gigs anyway. You always get a request for 4 Country Roads. And it's associated with me, probably. You
It
know,
is, well,
same
totally
as
and utterly.
Gentle Mother.
This is from the Galtymore video. Have a look at this, 4 Country Roads. Great to see the crowd.
4 country roads winding to a town in County Galway. 4 country roads leading to the friends I left behind. 4 dusty roads winding to the town of Blanamaty. 4 dusty roads forever in the caverns of my mind. Once in a while I hear the sound of music in the winter night. I see now and then the trees where we sheltered from the rain. And once in a while I see us walking home in the morning light. And oft are the times I long to see my hometown once again.
Do you know when we knew you were coming in, we never stopped singing that?
We have been singing
Days.
it all.
For days, Tom, thanks to you. We've been
And now
singing
it'll be
that
in our
thing.
heads for the rest of
That's
the
right.
week.
Boys on our
It'll go
gone now,
round.
Big Tom. Tom, a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you
nice
very
to,
much,
Nice to
Mark.
meet you properly.
Lovely
At
to have you.
last.